friends, Running Kimono here and happy Monday. Today's video is the 3 biggest lessons I wish I knew before I started extreme couponing. So we're going to just talk about this. I compiled a little list over the weekend, just reflecting on my time as a shopper, what I learned, and what I wish I knew when I first started. Because when I first started, there wasn't as many influencers online, and basically for these deals, you had to find them on your own. And I just basically saw a TV show, kind of thought, I'd like to do that. And that's how I tried to teach myself, but very self-taught, and I just picked one store, which was Walgreens, learned it inside out, backwards, forward, and that's where I started. Actually, to be perfectly honest, back in the day, I used to do nothing but Meijer, but you just can't do that store anymore because of policy changes of 2 coupons per person per lifetime or else. So, there's not a lot of deals to be had and found there. Rarely, barely, sparingly. So let's start talking about these bullet points that I've prepared for you guys, and hopefully for newbies out there or people that just stumbled across my channel that want to learn how to extreme coupon, this might help you out greatly. Alrighty, so the first point that I have for you guys is to be the best student. So really, I'm going to ask you to pay attention to whoever's providing you the matchup on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever, that you are really hyper-focused and at least grabbing a screenshot and trying to read and see what the person's telling you. And if it is a matchup such as a 5 off of 25 at the Dollar General, for example, write it all out and then make sure that the math balances, and then look at your app what the cost of products are, because what if I was off by $1 or something like that? Wouldn't that affect you greatly at the store? But really pay attention that everything is balancing. I can't emphasize it enough to read. If you're going to the Dollar General, for example, look up their coupon policy and give it a whirl. Perhaps my interpretation might be wrong, or what the cashier at the store's interpretation is wrong, but it never hurts to have something printed out, or at least a PDF on your phone, and to read it and have it on hand. And absolutely do your homework. If you are going to frequent one store such as CVS, you have to know what their policy is, what an extra care buck is, and how everything works. It's one thing to just copy someone's deal, but what if an item was missing from the store? How would you fix that on the fly? So that's why being the best student, learning how to read tags, knowing the policy, and knowing how things work is absolutely critical. Okay, number 2 is to be patient. I think messing up at the beginning is completely okay. It'll take 2 to 3 months to get the hang of couponing at a certain store. For example, Walgreens. You have Walgreens cash deals, you have register reward deals, you have spend deals, you have sometimes percentage off deals. It could get really confusing and you're just not really sure. And if you mess up in the beginning with one of these deals where things don't work out for you, that is totally a-okay and fine. You need to get the hang of a store and how things work. And once you can do that, you're going to be unstoppable. But initially, when you make a mistake with a $sign behind it or a couple of zeros behind it, here's the deal, guys. You will only make that mistake once, because whenever it's a financial mistake, you tend to not make that same mistake twice. Paying attention is so important to never make those mistakes. And really, you got to find a store with the right amount of inventory for you, with a location. So you really got to have your eyes peeled when you're out there, just to make sure that, when you're trying to get out there on a Sunday to do a deal, that you can actually do the deal. So patiently always look around for that and find a store that absolutely works for you, where the staff is, somewhat friendly and that will work for you, and that not everything is a hard and fast no, or, just a new hire that's been there for a week that knows everything and they're going to tell you no to everything because that's the policy. You've read that store coupon policy, so you know what it is. And sometimes new hires will just make anything up on the spot to get you out of the line, and it's happened to me multiple times. And then I always say, okay, let's talk to the manager, and it's always something completely different. How funny is that? Before I started couponing is the deal right for you? Is it right for you? I really think it's important to get what you need, to set your own budget for specifically what your family and what you need. Don't shop because you want to shop. So say you see a haul on TikTok and it is like, every single garden hose at a Dollar General, because it's 50% off and there's like 5 carts of it, and you just go and mirror that deal at your store and you spend $10 for all those hoses, but you're not a reseller and you don't even know what to do with all those hoses, and you live in an apartment in downtown Chicago and you're like, where do I even store it? So just, if you're seeing people haul things, sometimes, they might be reselling it, they might be flipping it, they might be putting it on Amazon or eBay, or they might just give one to everyone in their neighborhood. You never really know what they're going to do with it. But just because somebody's hauling a lot of something doesn't mean you need to do the same. And that's a mistake that a lot of newbies do. And have I been guilty of it before? Yes. So I'm going to ask you to be super intentional of what you're buying and how much you're spending. Because if I'm spending too much on it, I'm actually shopping for 3 different families, so maybe that's why I'm buying a little bit more, but you might need to buy a little bit less. So just to have a meeting with yourself and say, hey, what do I need? What should I do? So you're not overdoing it. And especially if you're overdoing it at the beginning, it could be really overwhelming. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.